Likkutei Torah, Parshas Pinchas, page Ayin Ches, first column, Eis Gimel. Okay, now the Rebbe was discussing why does a carbon come from the sheep rather than from a bakar. So he explains because the sheep has chitzenius and pneumius. It has the wool, it has the outside, the inside, and he explains that this comes all from this reaches the source of the animal, which is up there, the Kohen Michal Makriv, being Makriv Karbonis of the Neshamas is Karbonis and so on. Okay, so now he says like this. Me'ata Yuvan Inyan Zed, now we can understand this aspect. The tefillah shegeneged karbonis, the tefillah is instead of karbonis. What do you do by a carbon? You take the animal and you makriv it on the mizbeach, and that reveals the source of the animal, which causes the revelation of the highest sources of Elokus. She's bain is begdula Saint Baruch Hu, because davening is meditation into the greatness of Hashem. The way everything compared to Hashem is non-existent. And there's no comparison to Hashem at all. Just like, it's even more. One drop of water compared to the Ukanayas, which basically all the ocean systems of the world. So one drop of water has no bearing whatsoever compared to the water of the oceans. Yet that's still finite. There's finite amount of drops of water in the ocean, and one is, okay, it's 100 trillion, whatever, but still it's a limitation. Here we're talking about the value of Gashmistic, a world, in comparison to Hashem. The Gemara says in Harius that Rabbi Yeshua had two Talmidim, that one of them said, I can figure out, this is before computers, this is in time of the Gemara, how many drops of water there are in the ocean. Yeah, head computers, they use their heads.
It was joking, right?
No!
How could somebody say how many drops?
One second. What do you mean? The Gemara doesn't joke. The Gemara says, he said, Yuchelni l'shayir kamer tipas yesh b'yam. It's a Gemara in Hades. At the end of Hades. I can figure out how many drops of water exist in the ocean.
Is that a Guzman?
No. The Gemara over there, not in the same place, but the Gemara says you can speak, Torah speaks also exaggerations. So it's not lying. But no, but he didn't speak. He said, I'm able to figure out. That means I'm able to figure out.
Could we make Tchias amazing?
Today's science, we still don't know.
Okay. Let me ask you a question.
How much gallon of water we have? Let the drop of it.
They can't figure it out. These people were able to figure it out. You know how brilliant they were? Okay, what's the difference? The guy said it. I mean, the Gemara says about him. He didn't say that himself. So he says, when this meditation is engraved strongly within him, constantly, very powerfully, that this meditation of godliness doesn't leave after davening. It stays, it penetrates, permeates him for the entire day. Truthfully, the person meditates the whole day that ain't eid mulvadeh. Like the famous story of Binyamin Kletzker. Klotz means wood. The Binyamin Kletzker was a big chassid of the Alter Rebbe. He was a wood dealer, a very wealthy wood dealer. One time he's making a heshbon, he draws a line. There's also, they use their heads to figure out numbers. And he wrote Sachar Ein Eid Mulvadeh. It wasn't that he was tricking, fooling, and he wanted to look good. By him, the Sachar Kol, the end result of his whole business, was Ein Eid Mulvadeh. We have no understanding of what the greatness of these people. It's all, they're speaking the other day about a Rebbe, it's not 1,000 times smarter, it's Be'en Areich. These people weren't Rebbes. Shemidas nimshcha order that this, from this das comes a order that a gidem dakim. That this das comes in the small veins that go from the heart to the brain. Bechinas basa and imshachin bechinas dam alev, which is makir amidus of the nefesh habamis, which is the source of nefesh habamis, which is av at all. What's the av of a nefesh habamis? The love of the animal soul is loving of world. The taivis gashmi is v'nitzuach, which is part is all evil things, worldly things. So what is this? This beinin is do is kaf, you learn to break them. Ulahavchem, and transform them. The kedush is a nefesh ulikis, to the sanctity of the nefesh ulikis. Hamasgel is a misbeinenes. Bigdullah Saint Baruch who meditates 24/7 in the greatness of Hashem. And like he's saying, there is no other thought coming into the person. That's all that he's interested in meditating. Like it said, meaning, that even the Yetzer Hara, whose resting place is in the Nefesh Habamis, in the left side of the heart, Hamole down, which is full of blood, what should it be? Yosef Lavasi is Baruch. So the Rebbe is saying like this, what is davening? That's not what davening. What's davening? Primarily the meditation of the heart, because the Gemara says, how do we learn our davening? Because it says, the Gemara says, is Aveda Tefillah. So what is davening? In fact, we learned already. Rabbi Yechanan says in the Gemara Brachas, Rabbi Yechanan says, Halavai she'yispalu adam kol hayom kulei. Halavai guy should daven a whole day. What do you think it means? You should say the words a whole day, fall asleep between words and that. He means, halavai, a person should be in the avodah of tefillah. What's tefillah, he's saying? The meditation into the greatness of Hashem. Bottom line, that einoid mulvadei, right? Eichem amalekam sevukam v'lesa sepanimine, yeah? So then the person takes this meditation of davening and lives with it a whole day. That means his whole concern is only einoid mulvadei.
Whatever he does in his life.
Yeah. Okay, skip the parentheses. This concept is explained in Krishma. Shema Yisrael Loshen Avon. Shema doesn't mean hear. Shema means understand. That the Eibishter is Echad. Not in the heavens above, not in the earth below. There's only the Eibishter. That this chayas of Hashem that comes into heaven and earth is that this level of elokus that comes into the world is only like, he says, ketipa mayim u'kanayas. Like he said, remember, and Alter explains in Tanya, that one speech, how did Hashem create the whole universe? Bidvar Hashem, shemayim nasu. The Gemara says he created everything. Then he put things into place. So the whole world, that means the whole universe, not this room. The whole universe, spiritual universe, physical universe, was created with one dibur. That one speech, compared to the koyach hadibur, which is infinite, compared to the koyach of thought, compared to the koyach of midas, seich or not. So it's even less than a drop in the ocean. It's even less than a drop in the ocean. So that's what it means. The Havai, Shema Yisrael, you should understand, Yidden. Havai Elokeinu, this level of Havaya that becomes Elokeinu, it becomes limited to create the universe, is Havaya Chod, it's a Neid Malvadei.
Is there a possibility that there are other universes?
No. Not physical universes. I mean, there may be, but, huh?
If this is a tipa in the whole ocean, the possibility exists.
Yeah, could be. Doesn't say in Torah there's no other universes. Torah says Hashem created Adam on earth, so there's no people on Mars.
So I'm not talking about...
No, I'm saying there's no people on Mars. Torah says clear that Eibishter created Adam. Hashem made the eyes for Adam Alabarasi, and I put the person on earth.
What about life?
Life, there could be in other planets.
Oh.
Yeah. The Rebbe says clearly it could be life, not human life. There could be life. They're sending now more, I heard recently in the news, they're sending now to dig in Mars the moon, I mean. That there's water in the moon. No, that water is the source of life.
There is possibility that there could be other universe.
Yeah, there is.
Yes.
Not human.
No. Tipa chayisahu. And this tipa that creates the world is not only one. This drop itself, the ray of the sun, is still in the sun. That level of elokus is where ruchnis and gashmis are both equal. The darkness and light, it's all equal. That from that level of elokus, that the korbanos, what did he say about a korban? What does a korban accomplish? That the highest levels of elokus, which is all the way up there, is revealed when you do a korban. That's what davening is all about. Davening is about the meditation that everything in the world, the one drop of kedusha that gives life to the world, is coming from revealing a level of elokus that's super, super great, that earth and cheshach and world gashmis is all the same. And that level comes down into shem, kved malchusay, to create cause and effect of physical world and spiritual world. So therefore he says, what's davening? The medication. It is medication. The meditation that nothing exists but elokus. And therefore, v'yahavtas Hashem elokecha. Like the Maggid explained, how can Hashem command us to love? So the answer is, He commanded us, Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, the meditation, and then v'yahavta means you will love Hashem. If you think 24/7, strongly, and this is one with you, that Einod Movadai, that means all this universe is not even a spit in the ocean. In Yiddish, there's a shpai in yam, a spit into the ocean which doesn't add too much to the water. So this, what's a person going to want then? Why would he want kashmis if he wants a lukus?
Somebody really is born with this concept. Stress should not have any bearings on it.
They don't. They have only spiritual stress that they're not where they should be. Kashmis, like it says in Chassidus, hen v'lav shavin. Yeah, you have it. You don't have it. It's all the same. The stress is in ruchnius. Now, the Alter Rebbe is talking to us. He's not talking to Rebbes and Moshe Rabbeinu's, and he's talking to us. That means, at a certain level, every Jew can have this level. Not 24/7, which is supposed to be, but once in a while a Jew feels that Einod Milvadei. And not because he comes along and says, okay, at 10:30 it's Einod Milvadei time. No, that doesn't work. This is not even Rebbeisha levels. This is all Chassidic levels.
Down to the earth.
Yeah. Like it says, merely b'shemayim v'im chalecha fatz. Like the Alter Rebbe says, I don't want your Gan Eden, I don't want your Olam Haba, I want you. Ki be'emes einod milvadei. Because really, einod milvadei. Ulmi yachbez ulasi. If einod milvadei, why would anybody want anything which is not Hashem? Should only want Hashem. So how does this get to Korbanos? He says this awakening of Ava, hu bechinas dam ha-korban, that represents the blood of the korban which was sprinkled on the Mizbeach. Why? Because in addition to the meat and the veins and the bones, they also burnt the fats. What did they do with the blood? They squirted the blood on the Mizbeach. Everything else they burnt. But there was a concept of sprinkling the blood on the Mizbeach, What is Rika Saddam? That's Ava Aza. Adam is, again, the blood is the nefesh. He says, what is the blood? The chayis. What is the chayis? To be sprinkled on the mizbeach. The chayis of the person, the life and enthusiasm, excitement, vitality, everything, is only in Elokus.
Ava and chayis are the same thing?
No, Ava, chayis gives Ava. Something you love, you have chayis to do. Something you hate, you don't have any enthusiasm to do it. You do it because you have to do it. So if a person really loves Hashem, then he's excited about Eneid Muvadi.
In the beginning, the Rebbe said that the bones are chokhmah, and the muscles and so on, the meat and so
No.
on and so forth, midot.
Yeah. But now he's talking particularly about the blood. There's general and there's detail. So now he's talking about the blood. In this understanding, meditation that's engraved within him, because even this love of Elokus is is also the enthusiasm of the blood. You know, like you said, your blood, when you're excited about something, your blood cooks in you. What? I don't know this. Boils in you, yeah. Boil, good. The blood boils in you. Because this das that comes from atzma sibechinas keridas. Because normally intellect meditation is cold. But love is warm and enthusiastic. Okay? So what happens is this is baininess, which is cold, needs to stimulate enthusiasm and warmth and excitement to meditate in Elokus. In fact, there's an expression in Chassidus, this concept called Tchias HaMesim, waking up the dead. So Chassidus says, you know what Tchias HaMesim is? When Seichel, which is cold, becomes alive through the Midas. That's Tchias HaMesim. That's why Amalek, which we read about in last week's Parsha, Reish is Goyim Amalek. Amalek is a level of Chochmah of Klippa. Yeah, that's Karcha, that's cold. The Aveda is to take the coldness of Seichel and infuse it with enthusiasm of Kedusha.
How does something cold heat something else?
No. The coldness stimulates the heat, and the heat warms up the cold. Seichel stimulates midas, so the Seichel stimulates Ava. Then when you work on the Ava, then it warms up the Meach, the Seichel. Huh?
Usually it's from Seichel to midot.
Yeah. And then what happens?
March.
No. You understand something is good, awakens a love. Then when you have love for it, it makes even a greater seichel, because now that you love it, you want to work more on the seichel. It goes back and forth. Seichel stimulates me. We know in Gashmias, something you love, you're trying to meditate, figure out how to get it.
Yes.
Right? So what stimulated that ava to begin with? The seichel says it's good. Then when you realize it's good, you work with the ava stimulating the mind to work even more. It's a catch-22 situation. So the seichel stimulates ava. The ava stimulates a deeper level of seichel, which stimulates even a deeper level of ava, and that's the back and forth. But that's when it's engraved within the person, meaning it's one with the person. Einay Mulvadei is not a slogan that we say. It's, you live it, and you feel Einay Mulvadei. Then why would you want anything else?
Because it feels good and tastes good.
Then it's not Einay Mulvadei.
Hashem created so I can enjoy it.
No, Hashem created, we can elevate it for Avodas Hashem.
Of course. but
No.
I can enjoy it at the same time.
The only reason Hashem made you enjoy it a little bit, because otherwise you wouldn't do it. But not that the purpose is the enjoyment.
No, the purpose is
Hashem made the enjoyment to stimulate
the elevation.
the elevation. Because if there wouldn't be any taiva for food, people wouldn't eat food.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So you
No, but David, so it's not the enjoyment of the food.
no, it's not.
That's only a stimulus to make it, but the bottom line is not the enjoyment.
When there's ice cream, I say the shackle, I elevate it, then I enjoy it.
No, it doesn't work like that. No. You make a bracha, you start elevating it.
Right?
Then when you eat it because it's a then you just lower it back into shoshki satameis. That's what it says in Tanya Kadisha. Okay? So, we are not on the level, even though there were chassidim that would dafki eat things they didn't like, just for skafia purposes, you know, they wouldn't eat it. They would eat other things. We're not on that level, so we're not saying we should not enjoy the food. But again, are we eating to live or living to eat? That's the simple way of understanding what it's all about.
Can do both.
What?
Can do both. But dessert is
Depends
not
what time you come to Chassidus in the morning.
But dessert is not necessary.
It's to wash down the food.
Then what about if I'm enjoying something, bring me back to the Kedusha again?
You want to get realistic, you want to be in dream world. Okay. Realistically speaking, on our level, which is pretty low, very low. Okay, you learn about this, that's a level. And this is Chassidim level, not Rebbe level. Rebbe level is a completely different thing. Okay? So on our extremely low level that we are at, and whoever convinces themselves otherwise needs to go to a psychiatrist for medication. Okay? On a very low level, yeah, it's not demanded from us that we can't enjoy the food we eat. But the question is that what we're all about? Then I'm wondering a whole day, what for dinner? Understand what I mean? That's the difference. Yeah, I can enjoy the food. They serve the food. Okay, I like it. It tastes good. But am I living a whole day? What am I going to eat for dinner? Is it going to be good or not? Is the plate going to be hot when the meat is served on it? That's the big difference. That on our level shouldn't be. We're not on a level that is, okay, I'm going to dafki eat food I hate. Now, let me ask you a question. What happens, let's look from a objective perspective. I can go to the restaurant, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, okay? But let's think about it. I can spend $150 on a steak, or I can eat a $25 dinner and give $125 to a poor man who needs it. Now you tell me what is on a higher level, even from a secular point of view. Okay? What would be preferred? Okay. You know what I mean?
Where are you going to find a steak for $25?
I didn't say a steak. You can eat a hamburger for $25. One little hamburger, by the way. $25.
My level is the wife cooks and the cooking is not good, you still eat.
Yeah. What's the story out there about the salt? He was taught that this is what I'm given to eat. I eat it. The Friedrich Rebbe said, this is already parenting, the Friedrich Rebbe said, since the time he was a little baby, a little kid, he was taught by his parents to eat what you're given. You like it, you don't like it, that's not relevant. This is what you're given by the parent for dinner, this is what you eat. And by the way, years ago, that's the way it worked. You came home for dinner. What? Your house wasn't a restaurant. Today everybody's house becomes a restaurant. The parents make something for dinner, usually it's the mother, make something for dinner. They go, no, I don't want that. And the parents, as fools, not knowing how to parent, will let every kid do what they want in the kitchen. What type of chinuch is that? If something doesn't go exactly the way I want it to go, that's it? The world explodes? Then you create monsters, they're called in English.